Hello all. So as you can see, this is my laptop screen and I have already opened one Excel sheet for you wherein I have got the names of certain companies, their products, their brand, their rate per unit, quantity available, and here we have to find out the total units, right? So what are we trying to do here is we are checking the use of product function. Okay, so I'll be telling you how to use the product function in Microsoft Excel, and let me just merge in center and make it a little bold so that it appears to you clearly. Now, how do you find out product in maths? You simply do multiplication. Product is the multiplication. Suppose in this table I want to find out the multiplication of this. Okay, like let's say the rate per unit is 50,000. One laptop in Anuj computers cost 50,000. And how many quantities are available? 20 quantities. So we want to find out the total the price of all the 20 units. So how do we do that? Put an equal to sign, write down product within bracket, click on the cell. Now use the asterisk from your keyboard. Asterisk means the star sign. After that, select the other cell. Okay, close the bracket and press enter. And here you go. You get the output. Right. Now, please look here. I have used the cell references. I went and clicked on the cell. Okay, so this is the most efficient way of using formula and functions in Microsoft Excel. What I could have done was I could have written it like this: PROD product. Okay, within bracket, instead of clicking on the cell, I could have written 25,000 multiplied 10. See, I am writing it absolutely correct. There is no mistake in this. But let's close the bracket. Now, I get the answer. Answer is also correct. There is no problem. But what is the difference between hard putting the values and selecting the cell references? The difference is that when you have written the cell reference, when you have written the address of the cell in any formula or function, what happens is suppose you then the value get changed. Okay, let's say I have changed the quantity here available from 20 to 15, then automatically the function or the formula you have written will get updated. Let's see. Okay, earlier it was 1 lakh, now it is 75,000. Okay, so here is the main difference. But what if I do that here in the second case? In second case I simply wrote the values myself. So if I change this from 10 to 15, no difference will come here. Why? Because I entered the values myself. I was not referring to a particular cell. Okay, so I hope you would have understood. It is really important that you use the cell references instead of entering the values yourself. It makes a lot of difference. Any updates in the cell will not be reflected if you are hard putting the value. But if you are using the cell reference, any change, any updations in the cell value will be automatically reflected in the formula or function used by you. Okay, so don't use it this way. This is a wrong way of writing the formulas and functions in Excel. Now, after writing this, you can simply drag it using the autofill. So the formula will get updated in all the subsequent records. Okay, all the subsequent cells. Now let me delete it and let me find out the product from here, from function. So what I can do is click on this auto sum arrow, go to more functions. Now more functions may you can use it like this is the search box and write down product and press enter key, or maybe this. See, product is visible here. Click OK. right? And the function argument comes in place. Okay, here you can see the function arguments. So you have to mention the first number. You can read the entire description is coming here. So I want the product for this. This is my first cell. This is my number one. So I have selected this. Now what is your number two? This is my number two. Okay, and that's it. I'm done with the selection of the numbers because I have to multiply only two numbers here. Click OK, and here you go. Right? It's as simple as that. Now after finding this value, just drag it. Okay, so I hope the product function would be clear to you. Now let me tell you one more function here, which is the square root. I hope you would have studied the concept of exponents and powers in your class. Okay, now how do we find out the product? How do we find out the square root? Let's say I've got this sheet. I've got a number. Let's say 144. 144 is the number, and I want to find out the square root of this number. So I've got one function for it. Write down equal to. I'm writing it again. Equal to. Then write down sqrt. Within the bracket, select this number and close the bracket. Enter. So you can see this number. Let me write down it here. Right. So the square root of this number is 12. Okay. So mathematics becomes rather more interesting and useful and faster in Excel. Okay. Let's take another value. Let's say 36. Okay. Now let me just write it here. Now let us find out the square root for this. Instead of writing it again, let me just drag it here, and here we go. Right. So isn't it interesting? Within a single click, you can find out the square root of a number. So I hope you would have understood both the things properly, how to find out the product and how to find out the square root using Microsoft Excel functions. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, keep growing. Bye-bye.